Hello friends, let's discuss current affairs and today's first questions on sport. I don't say sports, sport is all encompassing. Which cricket team has won their first ever Ranji Trophy title? Now Ranji Trophy title has been won by their first title was won by Madhya Pradesh. But let's write a little about Ranji Trophy. This is named after Ranjit Singh Ji. Ranji Trophy named after Ranjit Singh Ji. Okay. Now, this trophy was started from in 1934-35. Fair, and it every year it sees 38 teams participating. 36 of these 38 teams are of regional associations, like you have Vidarbha, you have you have Telangana, you have AP, you have Tamil Nadu, and all. But of these 38, two are pan India. Pan India teams. What are pan India teams? Teams that that select members from across India, and they would be railways, second services, railways and services. So you have 38 teams participating in Ranji Trophy's domestic season. Of these 38, two are pan India teams. One's railways, the others services. Now, recently, that is the 2021 season, 21-22 season, Mumbai and Madhya Pradesh played the final. Madhya Pradesh beat Mumbai in the final. Okay, Madhya Pradesh beat Mumbai in the final, and so the winner is Madhya Pradesh. Now, the best part is for Mumbai, at least, is that even though they have not won this year's final, they have had the most titles in. So, most titles. How many titles they have had? 41. Okay, 41 times the Mumbai, Ranji Trophy, Ranji team has won the tournament. 41 times. Think about it. 41 times they won the Ranji Trophy final. In this season, the player of the series was a guy from Mumbai called a batsman from Mumbai called Sarfaraz Khan. Mumbai. So let me repeat for your benefit, my friends. Ranji Trophy is named after Maharaja Ranjit Singh Ji, and it was first started in 1934-35. Since then, every year 38 teams have been participating. Of these 38, we mentioned that two are pan India teams, services and railways. Now, as far as this year's tournament is concerned, Madhya Pradesh won it for the very first time, defeating Mumbai, which has won a record 41 titles. And in the final, rather in the entire tournament, the best player award has gone to Sarfaraz Khan, a batsman from Mumbai. Not Mumbai is Mumbai Devi. So Mumbai. Yeah. Now, before I go to the next question, I would like to bring to you something that has brought a few emails to us. See, I have been asked questions by some folks here. Niharika, there is another girl, some gentleman also, I don't exactly recall their name, that Indian government has talked about privatizing all public sector banks, and they are quite worried about, what to do. They've been working very hard, and they look like, it looks like their efforts are going to go waste. Now, are the public sector banks going to be privatized? Well, it's an idea. Second thing, the government has thought of is thinking of bringing a law that would help it, bring down its stake, its shares in the, its shareholding in public sector banks. Now, the thing is, my friends, you don't have to worry about all these things. Now, why would I say that? Because see, government intentions, there is a huge gap between government intentions and reality. The government of India has been, see, central government has been thinking of privatizing two public sector banks, two. um, they initially said 4, so then they said 2, and most likely this would be Central Bank of India and Bank of Maharashtra or Indian Overseas Bank, one of these two. So take Indian Overseas Bank and Central Bank of India. So 2 years back, even before the pandemic broke, there was this proposal to privatize these banks. Has anything happened till date? Nothing. Nothing has happened. In fact, the government has, even though it has a majority in the parliament, both houses of the parliament, it still is finding it very tough to, you know, let these bills be passed. They haven't even brought these bills. So this, to a large extent, see, the government's plans are of, they reflect intention. Will they become reality? Unlikely. At least not in the near term. Till the elections, nothing's going to change, my friends. Take my word. Well, when I say my word, it's not that you have to trust me, that whatever I'm saying is a prophecy that's going to come true. No. See, this is 2022. In 2024, there will be central government. I mean, there will be general elections, and I do not think that the central government will do anything that would shake their position in the final year of their term. So, if at all something has to happen, it will happen only when the new government, or maybe if this government comes back to power in 2024, maybe if they come back with a bigger majority or the similar majority, or at least they have a majority, then things may work. But by then, I think you will be in your bank in your bank. I mean, you have some employment. Even though, let's say, okay, this measure comes through and your bank, it gets privatized. You start to work for a public sector bank. You get recruitment, you get recruited, you get hired, and you start working for a public sector bank. If it becomes a private sector bank, why are you worried? How does it make any difference? You will have a job. Okay, if you work hard, produce results, anyway, you will have a job. Millions of people work in HDFC Bank, IndusInd Bank, ICICI Bank. So many people buy. Why are you worried about this? And at the same time, pension, well, it's always a question. 30 years, 40 years down the line, don't have to worry about that. You need to look at what you can do in the next few months. In the next few months, nothing's going to change on the privatization front. Okay, so please be careful about what you believe. There will be lots of WhatsApp forwards that will go around, that will create a certain kind of fear, like in times of riots, in times of difficult situations like the current religious tension in the country. Some people have created it. Some people have, it could be community A, community B, whoever it hardly matters to us. It's a common man that suffers. See, someone circulated a message on WhatsApp group or some Facebook page, which is creating an insecurity in you about the jobs. Yeah, that your public sector banks are going to be privatized. Why are you worried about this? Huh? You don't have to be worried. You need to be prepared. What if they are privatized? Let's say, what if they are privatized? Will you give up your preparation? Your preparation will come in handy. All you require is that you sit for the exams, you make it to the bank, and if they are good enough, then you will do well. And think about how many companies can buy public sector banks. They have to be very large companies. Now, who will buy? Who will buy? So buying, the government might have an intention. Who will buy a public sector bank? Think about it. So these are all dicey things. You don't have to worry too much. Abhi, now work hard. Work hard, learn things that will help you crack an exam of your choice. Get a job of your choice. Tomorrow is another day. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Yeah? So right now, focus on the preparation. And don't believe the WhatsApp forwards that 99% of WhatsApp is fake. Okay. So this, I run broadcasts on WhatsApp, but I run jokes, all that stuff, quizzes and all. But it is for fun. WhatsApp is for fun. Don't believe all that bullshit on WhatsApp. Okay, friends? Please focus on preparation, and nothing's going to change in the next at least 2 years. So 2 years is a good time for you to get into a good bank, a bank of your choice. Yeah, please work hard. You're there. I mean, time's there with you. You got to work hard, and trust me, only if you work hard, the best things in life will come to you. Fair? Which grouping recently unveiled a $600 billion plan to rival China's Belt and Road Initiative in developing nations? Now, China's in 2013 started the Belt and Road Initiative. In those days, it was called One Belt One Road Initiative, or multiple names it gave. But the idea was that it would connect about 70 countries to begin with. China's plan was to connect 70 countries through ports, through infrastructure, through rail networks and all that stuff, so that China could carry its finished goods to markets in Africa, in Europe and Asia. When it concerns raw materials, it requires a huge supply of raw materials, because it's the world's largest exporter. Okay, especially exporter of electronic items, chemicals, a lot of stuff, engineering goods. Now you need to understand that Africa, a large storage of raw materials that China needs. So China thought, okay, we'll integrate this. It's a win-win for this. We will go to these countries. We'll tell them, hey, we are going to we will build a dam for you. We will build a rail network for you. We will build an airport for you. We will build a port for you. But that we will build for you on on loan basis. That is, we will lend you money. We'll build this port for you, and you pay back money over a long period of time. Who is going to use the port? China said, look, you can use the port. We will use it, no doubt, to transport our goods. Our exports could come into your country. For raw material from your country could go, your raw material from another country, neighboring country, could come to this port and come to our country. From there it could be sent to our country. But China also said that this is going to be loan, no charity, man, no charity. It's going to be loan. So money has to be repaid to us at interest. So China said, we will build. Our raw material will come in, we will build, our workers will come in, they will build, and you pay. A lot of countries are poor, desperately poor. So they said, okay, this is someone who is willing to build infrastructure for us. We don't have the technology, we don't have the money, but someone's willing to do that, bring in both for us. So let them build. In the process, we'll also become rich. Did they become rich? Well, look at Sri Lanka. That's a good example. Even though Sri Lanka is not a country that Sri Lanka has 55 billion dollar debt. Okay, it owes the world $55 billion, of which about $7 billion is to China. Okay, you need to understand that this debt has pushed a lot of country into a debt trap. Countries, you see, China, for example, let's go back to Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka saw the building of Hambantota port in their country by the Chinese. The Chinese built it. Chinese said, we will use this commercial port, and now ships going from the Gulf, from Africa towards other parts of Asia, Eastern Asia, will come here, will take relief, and from there it will go. But did that happen? No, it didn't happen. Yeah. So the commercial traffic was very low. So the revenue projections that China made in this part of the world didn't really work for Sri Lanka. So what happened? Debt accumulated, and it came to a point where the port was a ghost port, and China said, "Paisa do, give us money, Sri Lanka." Sri Lanka said, "We don't have money." So Sri Lanka, said that we don't have money, and the Chinese insisted on payment. Sri Lanka said, okay, we don't have money, but we can give you this port. We can give you this port on a 99-year lease. Yes, Hambantota port has been given on a 99-year lease by the Chinese has been given on lease by the Sri Lankans to the Chinese. Whose place is that? Sri Lankans. Whose money? Sri Lankans borrowed that money from China. Ultimately, they said we don't have money. So the Chinese said, okay, we'll take this port. Sri Lanka is losing. So this is what is happening. A lot of countries are being pushed into debt trap. But countries are too poor to even think of the future. They're looking at today. So the West is now woken up. Suddenly it's woken up and it says that, okay, we'll have a project that will rival China's project. And the name of the project would be, please write this, Partnership for Global Infrastructure. Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment. Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment. Okay, dash $600 billion investment, $600 billion fund over 5 years. To fund infrastructure projects in middle and low income countries. So what's the G7? See, these are all on paper. What the China, the Americans, this project started pre-COVID also, but nothing has happened. So they are restarting it now. So these things are like, they are more, the West is reacting rather than setting a policy. G7, a group of 7 most industrialized nations: United States, Canada, UK, France, then we have Italy, Germany, and Japan. United States, Canada, UK, France, Italy, Germany, and Japan. Okay, that's the G7. The G20 includes developed and developing nations. It includes the G7 plus European Union, yes, the other members of the European Union, plus India, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, South Africa, a lot of these countries. Okay, G20, group of 20. European Union has 27 members, including 19 Eurozone members. SAARC is South Asian Association. I repeat, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. Eight members: Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Nepal, sorry, I'm so sorry guys, Sri Lanka, Maldives. Okay, I follow geographical order. If you look at the G7 members, I went by the geographical order. SAARC also geographical order. Next, BRICS, 5 countries grouping. B for Brazil, R for Russia, I is for India, C for China, and S, as you know, is for South Africa. So we discussed this question in great detail. The biography of billionaire industrialist Gautam Adani, the man who changed India, will hit the stands in October 2022. This book has been authored by R.N. Bhaskar. Gautam Adani is the chairperson of Adani Group, which includes Adani Enterprises, Adani Green, Adani Ports and Special Economic Zones. It includes Adani Total Gas, yeah, Adani Wilmar, which is an edible oils manufacturer, all that. Pranay Roy is a co-chairperson of, NDTV, co-chairperson of NDTV, New Delhi Television, co-chairperson. His wife is the other chairperson. Rajat Sharma, chairman of India TV. Shankar Iyer is a journalist and author. He could write this one book, Aadhaar, a biometric history of India's biometric history of India's 12-digit revolution. 12-digit revolution. Hmm. 12-digit revolution. Okay. Vinod Mehta is the lead editor of Outlook. Yeah. Which bank has secured an in-principle approval from the Reserve Bank of India to set an operations support subsidiary, the State Bank of India? You know the chair, but this is India's biggest bank. It was nationalized in 1955, and prior to that, it was called the Imperial Bank of India. Imperial Bank of India. It was called the Imperial Bank of India. IndusInd Bank. It is owned by the Hinduja Group. It's Hinduja Group owns Ashok Leyland. Yeah, it also owns Gulf Oil, and its CEO is Sumant Katpalia. Kotak Mahindra, Uday Kotak. Punjab National Bank, Atul Kumar Goyal. Punjab and Sindh Bank, I think there is a new guy. Swaroop Saha. Swaroop Kumar Saha, that's the name actually, but yeah, Swaroop Saha. In some places you will find the spelling of Swaroop as SWARUP. Who will head the India Debt Resolution Company that will work in tandem with the National Asset Reconstruction Company Limited to clean up bad loans? Avinash Kulkarni. Okay. What about the names here? Sanjeev Chadda. Sanjeev Chadda is the Bank of Baroda CEO. Shantilal Jain, Indian Bank. Indian Bank. Mani Mekalai, Union Bank of India. Amitabh Chaudhary, Axis Bank. I repeat, Bank of Baroda, Sanjeev Chadda, Shantilal Jain, Indian Bank, CEO of UBI, Union Bank of India is A. Mani Mekalai, and Amitabh Chaudhary is the head of Axis Bank. Yeah. The 5-day UN Ocean Conference kicked off in Lisbon, which is the capital of Portugal. This is Portugal. You see this peninsula portion? It's called the Iberian Peninsula. I'll write here Iberian. This region is called Iberia. So Iberian Peninsula equals Portugal plus Spain plus a small country called Andorra. Where is this country? It's here. You see this here? This, where I put a dot on the border with France, on Spain's border with France. Iberian Peninsula. Yeah. Portugal was the world's first global empire. Spain capital, let's focus only on capitals. Madrid. Ireland, Dublin. This is Ireland. In green you are find Ireland. You see this is Northern Ireland, which is the part of UK. Hmm? Poland, this is Poland. You see in green here, this is Poland, and Poland's capital is Warsaw. Greece, this is in Greece. This is Greece in brown. You see, Athens. Athens. Hmm. So this is Greenland. Greenland in brackets you find Denmark. This is Denmark. Denmark owns Greenland. Okay. You see this Faroe Islands, Faroe. So Greenland plus Faroe Islands and Denmark make up the Kingdom of Denmark. The Kingdom of Denmark. Yes. Which nations recently joined the Commonwealth, thus becoming the latest nations with no historic ties to Britain to enter the grouping headed by Queen Elizabeth II? Okay, this the boundary lines here of India are not the true boundaries, but then this is how global maps are. Gabon and Togo. This is Gabon. This you see here is Gabon. You see here this thin strip, that is Togo. There are two countries here. Togo is where I drew the line right above this strip here. Okay, and this is Ghana. Okay, so these are members of the Commonwealth. Canada, Australia, New Zealand. These three countries have chosen the British monarch as the head of their own country. So Canada, Australia, New Zealand's head of the state is a British queen. It's a British monarch. Would you want to know about Gabon? No, I think it's not required here. Too much of stuff. I think it's not really required. Commonwealth. Yeah, I can tell you about Commonwealth. Commonwealth is headed by. It was started in 1949 and headed by Patricia Scotland. Patricia Scotland, and the Commonwealth is headquartered in London. What is it? London. So, okay. You have Iran. This is Iran, my friends. This, you see this country here. This is Iran. Pretty large country. Which countries have been invited by Germany as guests to the G7 summit to recognize the democracies of the global south? See, there is north versus south. What is north? Developed countries. Developed countries. These south are developing countries. Developing countries. Technically, that's a distinction. All four have been invited, and right, G7 summit 2022 G7. It was held in Schloss Elmo. What is it? No, I think I wrote the. This is a wrong spelling, incorrect spelling. This is a bit tough here. Schloss Elmo in Germany. That is where the G7 meeting was held. G7's 2023 will be held in what is this place? Hiroshima, which, as you know, is in Japan. Okay, G7 2024 will be held in Italy. The exact place is not announced yet. Okay. Argentina's capital is Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires. The president is Alberto Fernandez. And the currency is peso. Argentinian peso. Senegal, if you want to know where is Senegal, it must be here in this map. You see this country here. Yeah, do you see this country here? This particular one. Yeah, this is Senegal. Here there is a green dot. That is Banjul. That is Banjul. See, if Senegal is like this, and this is the ocean. In this country, okay, there is another country. This is a country called, Guinea, whose capital is, what is it called, Banjul and all that. So this is, this one, Senegal. So you could write Senegal. The capital is Dakar, Dakar, Dakar. The president is a guy called Macky Sall, and the currency is franc. Macky Sall, franc. South Africa, you would know anyway. So, but let me bring in something about South Africa as well. It has 3 capitals. Yeah, you should remember all the 3. Yeah, Cape Town. That's 1, 2. And then 3. 2 would be Pretoria, and 3 would be Bloemfontein. Bloemfontein. The president is a guy called Cyril Ramaphosa. Okay, that's it. Prime Minister Narendra Modi recently met Alberto Fernandez in Munich on the sidelines of the G7 summit. Alberto Fernandez is the president of Argentina. Yeah, I can tell you. Colombia, Brazil, what is it? Paraguay, Uruguay. Let's look at the capitals. Brazil, Bogota is the capital of Colombia. Because everywhere I've been discussing only the names of the presidents and all that. Okay, so I think it's a little boring sometimes to remember all the names. Take it easy. Christopher Columbus gave his name to Colombia. It's the only country in the world named after Christopher Columbus. Okay, now as far as Brazil is concerned, the capital is Brasilia. This is named after a kind of wood. Yeah, wood that has given its name to this, the city. And this is the 5th biggest country in the world by area, 85 lakh square kilometers. Till recently it was the 5th biggest country by both by area and population. By area it remains the 5th biggest, but 6th population it's the 6th, because Pakistan overtook Brazil in its population. Okay, Paraguay, Ascension, Argentina, we mentioned. Peru, Peru's capital is Lima. Was it Lima? Yes. Pedro Castillo is the president, but anyway, that's not required. Just write this. Who among the following has been declared winner of the Miss India Worldwide 2022, the longest running Indian pageant outside of India? Khushi Patel. There's nothing I can discuss. Suriname is a place in South America. Is there a map that I can take you? Yeah, this is, you see this here? This is British Guyana. This is Suriname. You see this country here? This is Suriname. This area is, this one. You see this here? Is French Guyana. It's a part of France. So this is Suriname. Substantial percentage of population here is of Indian origin. So in the British Sea between 1810, you may wonder why are there British everywhere. The British are there here in Fiji. Okay, They are there in in Gujarat. They are there in West Indies. A lot of these are West Indies, west of India. That's why West Indies. So a lot of these countries have Indians. Why? Because see, between the 1810 in 1910, Britain took millions of thousands and thousands of Indians to work abroad in their colonies abroad. Why 1810? Because in 1806, yeah, 1806, Britain abolished slavery. It said that we will no longer buy sell shares, slaves. We will no longer buy sell slaves. So 1806 they prohibited the trade in slaves, so they needed workers to work in their, their agriculture fields like cotton fields, like sugarcane farms and all. But who would work? Europeans wouldn't work. Yeah, British themselves would not work. Natives were small in number, so who could be trusted? Well, Indians were taken in large numbers to different parts of the world by the Brits. People from Tamil Nadu south were basically taken to Malaysia and Singapore. In those days, they were all backward areas, and people from Gujarat were taken to Uganda and Kenya. From the Hindi heartland of Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, thousands were taken to work in Mauritius, in Fiji, distant Fiji, in Oceania, in the Caribbean. They were taken, and since they could not come back, they settled there. Their descendants are called persons of Indian origin. Persons of Indian origin. Okay, persons of Indian origin. So there are two kinds of Indians living abroad. One is the NRI, who is a non-resident Indian, who is a citizen of India but a resident abroad, non-resident Indian. When it comes to the other kind, it's PIO, person of Indian origin. Someone who was born in India, someone who was born abroad, is a citizen abroad, but whose forefathers were born in India. Okay. So you find all these guys in those parts of the world. Okay. Which lending institution approved $250 million loan to support the government of India's road safety program for 7 states? World Bank. The chief economist of the World Bank is Carmen Reinhardt. Let's look at only the more important things. Usually we look at everything. Reinhardt. International Monetary Fund. Paul Olivier. We are discussing only the chief economist of these two. Okay, Paul Olivier Gourinchas. Paul Olivier Gourinchas. Okay. Yeah. New Development Bank. Its head office is in Shanghai. This is also called the BRICS Bank, and its CEO is a Brazilian called Marcos Troizo. Brazil. European Central Bank is a central bank of the Eurozone area, and its capital is in Frankfurt, if I'm not wrong. Frankfurt is in Germany. Yeah, and its CEO is Christine Lagarde. She is from France. She's from France. Ex-MD of the International Monetary Fund. Which country's space body recently launched the Capstone mission to the moon from the Mahia Peninsula of New Zealand? Well, NASA. See, Mahia Peninsula, Capstone has been launched by a private agency company called Rocket Lab. Rocket Lab. But before that, why don't you take the full form of Capstone? Cislunar, they may ask you this in the exam. Cislunar Autonomous Positioning System. Positioning System. Technological Operations and Navigation Experiment. Technological Operations and Navigational Experiment. Launched by Rocket Lab. Rocket Lab, American Private Space Company, Private Space Company. You know, I was going through the stuff on the available on the web about Rocket Lab. Its CEO is a guy called Peter Beck, BECK. I was surprised that this man and his company do something extraordinary in terms of launching rockets and everything. But what surprised me most was that he never went to university. He is self-taught. He is a chief executive officer and the chief technology officer of this space company, private space company. He taught himself a lot of things. He never ever went to university. You know, Elon Musk. Elon Musk is also the co-founder and CEO of a company called SpaceX. He holds a double BA, one in economics, other in physics, I guess. He later taught himself how to build rockets and everything. He's a rocket scientist. So people are different. The wiring is different. CNSA, China National Space Administration. You could write this. China National Space Administration. JAXA is Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency. Next, CNES, France. National Center for Space Studies. According to Niti Aayog study, India's gig workforce will reach 2.35 crore by 2030. Gig force includes all of them. Now I want you to write this gig force, okay, dash temporary workers, dash often workers, for whom the gig work, the GIG, the gig work just a second. Gig work, for whom the gig work yields a secondary income. I was just looking for the right word. Yields a secondary income. So this is not the main work for the gig workers, for most gig workers. Yields a secondary income. Okay. Two types of gig workers. You can also write two types of gig workers. One, platform workers. The other, non-platform workers. Who are platform workers? Workers whose work or work based on digital platform or digital or app basis. Work based on digital or apps media or online media. Better na? Online media. Digital or online media. Next, non-platform workers dash casual workers, including full-time workers, and most of them have only work-specific skill. They want to do this skill like this. Yeah. So where are these gig workers working? Hotels, restaurants, retail, insurance, transportation. So everywhere, transportation like Uber, Ola, yeah, all that stuff, Rapido. So these all, people are working, and some people are supplementing their main income, with the help of some part-time work and all that. Okay. According to Union Ministry of Education's Performance Grading Index for districts for 2019, Sikar is the highest performing district in school education across India. This is Sikar. You see Sikar here? This is Sikar. This one. Okay. So Sikar in Rajasthan. So see, this area is called Marwad. This area is called Marwad. This is called Mewad. Now Marwad, why is it called Marwad? The British used to write this kind of spellings here. The R for D. Marwad, the land of, the land of death. Many people say. So the people belonging to this region are called Marwadi. They speak a language called Marwadi. The people of themselves are called Marwadi. This area is called Shekhawati. This is called Shekhawati. Yeah. You know the CM of Odisha is Naveen Patnaik. Punjab Bhagwant Mann. Haryana Manohar Lal Khattar. Madhya Pradesh Shivraj Singh Chauhan. Rajasthan Ashok Gehlot. See, this is Pokhran. Pokhran is where in 1974 and 1998 India tested nuclear bombs. Yeah. Padma Vibhushan awardee V. Krishnamurthy passed away recently. He was a former chairman of BHEL, Maruti Udyog Limited, SAIL, all of them actually. Okay. BHEL is Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited. Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited. CEO is Nalin Shinghal. Maruti Udyog Limited is not Maruti Udyog, it is Maruti Suzuki India Limited. Maruti Suzuki India Limited. The CEO is a new guy called Hisashi Takuchi. SAIL, Steel Authority of India Limited, Soma Mondal. Padma Vibhushan is India's second highest civilian award. The highest is Bharat Ratna, then Padma Vibhushan, Padma Shri, Bharat Ratna, Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan, Padma Shri. Okay. Whom of the following persons has been appointed the new chairperson of the CBDT? Nitin Gupta. Vivek Johri, and by the way, who is outgoing? I think it's a guy called JB Mohapatra. Is he not outgoing? Yeah. Outgoing. What is Vivek Johri? You could write this. Chairperson of Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs. Choices are not important. I went through this. Couldn't find anything substantial. Rajiv Anand has recently been reappointed Deputy Managing Director of Axis Bank for a period of 3 years. Who is the Managing Director? Amitabh Chaudhary, and Rajiv Anand is the Deputy MD. HDFC Bank, India's largest private sector bank. Sashidhar Jagdishan. ICICI Bank, Sandeep Bakshi. CSB, CVR Rajendran. Federal Bank, Shyam Srinivasan. Whom the following persons has recently been appointed chairperson of Reliance Jio Infocom? Akash Ambani, the one of the two sons, one of the three children of Mukesh Ambani. Okay, J Anmol and J Anmol in J Anshul. There are two guys, J Anmol, J Anshul are Anil Ambani's sons. Anant, Akash, and Isha are Mukesh Ambani's children. I think Isha Ambani will be the chairperson of Reliance Retail. Reliance Retail. Who among the following persons has been named a 2021 recipient of the Golden Achievement Award? Vijay Amritraj. Vijay Amritraj, is a former tennis player and of course one-time film actor also. He starred in this James Bond film called Octopussy. Octopussy. Why didn't you do one thing? First Indian. See, settled in the US, but he has an Indian citizenship. First Indian to turn professional. On the ATP tour. ATP tour. If you don't know what is it, Association of Tennis Professionals. Association of Tennis Professionals. Yes. He is also the highest ranked Indian tennis player in the singles event. He ranked India's best ever ranking was 16. He was 16, world number 16. He is a twice quarter finalist at Wimbledon and US Open. This once. Which of the following is a part of the world's largest innovation campus in Hyderabad? All of them. They just recently opened all of them. The Chief Minister of Telangana is K. Chandrasekhar Rao. K. Chandrasekhar Rao. Kalvakuntla Chandrasekhar Rao. India's latest state, Telangana state, was born on 2nd June 2nd June 2014. 2014. Yes. World Investment Report is published by the UNCTAD, United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. I repeat, United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. Head office Geneva, which is in Switzerland. Its Director General is Rebecca Greenspan. Rebecca Greenspan. Where is she from? She's from Costa Rica. Rich coast. That's the Spanish thing. Central America is where you will find Costa Rica. World Bank and IMF have come again, but anyway, this time we will take the names of the presidents. David Malpass. We will do one thing here. We will take some other names. The people below the top guys. Okay. World Bank. Anshula Kant. Anshula Kant. CFO, Chief Financial Officer, and MD. From India, she is an ex-SBI officer. IMF, Geeta Gopinath. First Deputy Managing Director. Next, OECD, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Matthias Cormann. I think he's from Australia. WTO, World Trade Organization. What's the name of this person? Ngozi Okonjo Iweala. She's from Nigeria. Ngozi Okonjo Iweala. Which of the following is not a function of the RBI? Bankers Bank, yes, it's a Bankers Bank. Custody in the foreign exchange, yes. Control of credit, how much money supply. Control of credit is basically money supply, yes. Bank of issue, it issues currency notes. Book building. Now, what is book building? Book building, you could write. Book building is the process of adopted by an underwriter to determine the share price at which shares in an IPO should be sold. Shares in an IPO should be sold. IPO is initial public offering. So if through an IPO, if it comes like, okay, the price of the share is 200 rupees. Who determines that? Book builders determine that. So book building is a process adopted by an underwriter. Below the application, someone writes, that's for underwriting. Okay, to determine the share price at which shares should be sold, through an IPO. That's it, nothing else. It's not RBI's function. It is underwriters' functions. Large investment banks, brokerages, they do this. To which state does the Satriya dance belong? Now, Satriya is a classical dance. Assam it belongs to. There are 8 classical dances. I would want you to write this. Across exams, these kinds of questions come. Okay. You have some Satriya. You have, let's start in the south. Bharatanatyam, Tamil Nadu. You have Kuchipudi. What is this? Kerala. Oh, so sorry. Andhra Pradesh. Then let's take this now, clockwise. Kathakali, Kerala. Kathak. What is this? Uttar Pradesh. Then we have Satriya, Assam. Manipuri, Manipur, obviously. Odissi, Odisha. Hey, 7 have come. 8. Oh, did I escape? Yeah. See, some people say Karnataka's dance also should be included here. What is it? Yakshagana, Karnataka. And according to some, it is not Yakshagana, but we should take from Kerala itself, Mohini Attam. So Kerala would get 2 in this case. So these are the classical dances in India. Okay. So that last 2 is a matter of, who do you trust? Yeah, who do you accept rather? That's about it. That's all from me, Bharat C. Jain. Have a lot of fun. Stay curious. Enjoy yourself.